Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Wrap-Up presented by AT&T. I'm Ari Chambers, joined by the GOAT, Hall of Famer, the pretty in pink, Carolyn Peck. Hello, Coach. How you doing today?
Good, Ari.
We're coming off the heels of a Lynx Aces game that resulted in 111-58. That is not a lie. 111-58 victory for the Minnesota Lynx on the Aces court, and unfortunately, Napheesa Collier had to be taken to the back for an apparent injury in the third quarter. We don't know any details so far about that, but Coach, what could this mean for the Minnesota Lynx?
Well, you got to hope that it's nothing serious, but when you look at Minnesota's schedule, they have a game against Seattle, a game against Washington, then they have 3 games in a row against New York. So you're hoping that, if there's an injury that needs rehab, that you've got that time. You have 8 days before that first game with New York. And, a lot of teams this season have had to play without star players. A'ja Wilson went out for a little while. Right now, Brianna Stewart is out. So you hope that this is something that Napheesa Collier won't need a lot of time to come back from. And during this time, too, she can get some rest. And with the way that Minnesota's playing, they're clicking on all cylinders. It'll be an opportunity for some other players to step up.
Yeah, beyond clicking all cylinders, you mentioned it, the depth of Minnesota. You don't get to the top of the league without depth. What do you see from their bench or their additive players?
Well, I think that their starters have set a great example and a standard that they hold their reserves to. So when they come in, they've got to be ready to contribute. You see what Natisha Heidemann's doing when she comes in the game. She's got the Russian player that comes in. I'm not going to even try to butcher saying her name, but Jessica Shepard has come in and given Minnesota some tremendous minutes. So I think they are clicking on all cylinders. And one of the things that Kayla McBride said at the end of the game was that they have played good defense at home. They needed to take that on the road. They have done that. I think that's why Minnesota's sitting at the top, because everybody on that team, they're locked in.
I always look to Minnesota as the defensive specialist, but the offense was clicking today.
Oh.
You mentioned her, Kayla McBride, 8 for 8 in the first half. She tied Ryan Howard for the WNBA record. I was like, is anybody going to cover her? Is anybody going to not let this woman shoot wide open? I mean, what happened with Kayla? How was she able to make it rain on this Aces team?
Ari, her first 4 were uncontested. So I think that the Aces scouting report was not followed, because there's no way that of anybody you're going to leave open on the floor, it's Kayla McBride. Her first 4 threes uncontested. And look, once she sees one go in, you can forget about it. And when you see Kayla shooting that way, it got contagious throughout the rest of the team. Where they hit 17? 17 threes today? At some point, I don't understand. I really don't understand. Minnesota is the best three-point shooting team in the WNBA. So the scouts should have been run them off the three-point line, force the twos. 2s for 2s, you can match, because the Aces haven't been shooting it consistently from the three-point line. Take the 3 away. Why that didn't happen, I'm still trying to figure out.
I mean, there was a point where I saw a triple team on Fee. And, Fee is a threat, obviously, but Kayla McBride is known to be this fierce three-point shooter, and she's in great form. It's an all-star season for her. I knew they were doomed. The opposition was doomed when Kayla hit that transition 3. It was her 7th of 7. And I'm like,
oh, you didn't know till then?
But you're bought in. The first 4, obviously, open. Then they were like, maybe we should pay attention to K-Mac. But that transition 3, I said, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She was locked in a zone. I think because she was wearing a mic, maybe that helped her be extra focused. But the rhythm of her getting her feet down and into her shot and that quick release, you can't let her see so many go in, because, man, she started feeling it and it was over.
Though the Minnesota Lynx are at the top of the standings, they have faced some, challenges coming off of All-Star, and they're proven to be beatable. But what makes them so dangerous?
They don't lose back-to-back. I think the self-correction, I think the leadership that they have, I think the key for Minnesota is, we talked about Napheesa Collier and we talked about Kayla McBride. I think the key is the stud bud of Courtney Williams. Because this is a point guard, her energy that she brings on the floor, and when she gets into the offense and keeps the pressure on the defense, that opens up things for everybody else. And she's the top of their defense. I think Courtney Williams is key to the success for Minnesota.
Now, Coach, I know that you are very closely related to the Aces. You know a lot about this team. Should we be concerned as a consumer of Aces basketball?
After what you just saw?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You need to go to the emergency room. And I think you need to get a quick fix, a dose of medicine, a surgery if you need it. But I think the Aces have got to learn how to put together consistent play from here on out. They only have 16 games left. And the last 2 games, it looked like they had put it together. But then to fall apart like they did against Minnesota, that has to be concerning. Those kind of games they can't show up because you've got the LA Sparks. They've won 7 of their last 9.
They're on a hot streak.
I'm telling you, I love the way Rakia Jackson is playing. Now they have Cameron Brink back. De'Erica Hamby has constantly brought that energy inside, and Azurá Stevens is shooting it. So I think that they could be a problem for the Aces and their ability to get into the playoffs. So it's not a matter of seeding now for the Aces. It's a matter of getting a position in and staying there.
Do they have what it takes to get a position in?
I think they do. I mean, you've got A'ja Wilson. So you got to bet on A'ja, right? And then Jackie Young has been on fire since the All-Star break. You've got an experience in Chelsea Gray. Now, I think that the addition of NaLyssa Smith, that was big. But it's a consistent play, a consistent effort. I like the move of Jewell Loyd coming off the bench because, look, that's a starter. That's a WNBA champion that you know you can go to once the game gets started. But it's got to be consistent. And they've got to move the basketball. I thought a lot of dribbling. I thought with pressure on them from Minnesota, they went into more of a dribble mode. You didn't see the ball popping. You didn't see the cuts and movement like they'd seen in the previous 2 games. They've got to get back to that.
It's funny because when you say ball movement, I just think about the Lynx. They move the ball so beautifully, especially in the first quarter. I was just like, oh, dear. Oh, my goodness. And I'm going to throw you one for a loop, Coach. We're known to have Peck talks around these parts. Why don't you give the Aces a Peck talk? They could use you right now.
Well, Vegas, look, now's the time to put it all together. A'ja Wilson is the leader, and you all have even taken upon yourselves to self-scout. Now take a hard look in the mirror because it's go time. If you want to get into the playoffs, you've got to put strings together because we have seen when the Aces get into the playoffs, you can make things happen, but you got to get there now. And so it is about now playing selfless, playing together, and playing determined in order to get a shot in the playoffs.
You know, claps for the Peck talk, claps for the Peck talk. Well, let's see if they can make it in the playoffs. But now we're looking at teams. I know last week we had some hot takes and some not so hot takes, but my lukewarm take is I'm just super impressed with Atlanta and the way they've been able to come together despite the loss of Ryan Howard due to injury. And they're in the 3rd spot right now and just sitting high. And I said, you know, my hot take was they're going to be a finals team. Do you believe me?
I do believe you.
Okay.
And you said lukewarm. I'd be red hot on that.
I mean, it's not a hot take if everybody agreed.
Here's what I see, because I had a question mark when Ryan Howard went out of what could Atlanta do without her? Well, Naz Hillman has added, I think she is got to be a front runner for most improved player. And when you look at her ability to shoot the 3, the energy that she brings on the floor, that definitely helps. Maya Caldwell has demonstrated that she can shoot the ball as well. And Alicia Gray has already been on fire all season long. Now you add to that the play of Brianna Jones and or Brittany Griner. One of the 2 of them just has to be an anchor inside. I think that makes this Atlanta team very dangerous.
Okay, so I'm glad we're on the same page here. Coach, any other team that we should be looking out for going into the second half of the season?
I talked about the LA Sparks. I think everybody should be worried about them. I think that the key to that is Kelsey Plum knowing when to score and when to distribute. for them to bring energy the whole time on the floor. If they sprint and run the floor, I think they're a problem with the length that they have and their ability to rebound the basketball. And then these Washington Mystics, with those little rookies on it, I think that Sonia Citron and Kiki Iriafen have definitely put Washington into the conversation.
Those two rookies, I talked to Sony 2 days ago about how her and Kiki just click, and she was saying how her entire class she's been impressed with. Is there anybody else from the rookie class that we should be looking out for?
To get in the playoffs?
No, just in general.
Overall, I love how Paige Beckers is playing in her rookie season, and she has settled in. The transition has not. It's gone seamless from what she did in college to what she's able to do. I love the way that she thinks the game and how she sets up the players around her. I think Arike is getting really very used to and comfortable playing with Caitlin Clark. And then Akoa Makani at Phoenix. She didn't get a lot of shine. I think she's overshadowed by Alyssa Thomas and Satu Sabli. I mean, that's a star-studded roster in Phoenix. But Akoa Makani is one of those rookies that comes in, makes the big plays at the right time. And she's one of these players you can't leave open. She can knock it down.
We can for sure be looking out for the rookie class and just people to just prove us right and wrong here. But now it's time for the guarantee of the day presented by AT&T. Coach, here's my guarantee. I'm guaranteeing that the price is going up for teams in the league. We saw that there may or may not be a bid out for Connecticut Sun to go to Boston worth $325 million. So I think my guarantee, my for sure, is that the price has gone up. What do you think about that?
I don't think that's much of a stretch.
I mean, guarantee.
we just talked about the young rookies and the young talent in this league. Every arena I go in, you see lines of people to get in, and the ticket prices are going up. So owners are seeing the potential to make a profit now with how valuable women's basketball and the product that they're putting on the floor. I don't think that's much of a stretch for that guarantee.
You've been around so many iterations of the game because you are a legend in the game. So what makes it different right now? Why is this not just a one-off?
Well, what makes a difference is, first of all, people know about it. Second of all, the women that are playing now, and yeah, I'm an OG.
Yeah, you are.
But back when I was coaching in the GM in '99, those players, their role models were NBA players. The players that are playing now, their role models are the players that they saw play in the early stages of this league. So they have modeled, they've been working on their game since they were in the crib. That's why they are at the level that they're playing now. I mean, have you seen some of the moves, the inside out? I mean, those are just fundamentals now where it used to be flashy or a show. No, these women can play because they have worked on their craft from an early age to prepare them now. And so it's a show to see. It's a must-see. And it used to be, dads, bring your daughters, or moms, bring your kids, or it was a women's sport. No, this is a sport for everybody. When you go into these arenas, there's all walks of life that want to see these women play.
I just want to sprinkle this in. I know that there are the talks about the Boston thing happening, but Coach, if you could put a team anywhere, where are you putting it?
Nashville, Tennessee.
The rich history of Tennessee.
You look at what Pat Summitt built.
Yes.
In the state of Tennessee, why not have a WNBA team in Nashville? How convenient would that be for teams, whether it's east or west, to get to? I mean, it's close to Middle America. I live there, so I would love
I'll be
it.
right there.
But really, yes, I'm campaigning for Nashville, Tennessee.
Bring another team to the South, honey. I'm campaigning for Charlotte. I still have hope alive. But two people I got to witness in Nashville in the offseason were Syd and TP. So I think now it's time to phone some friends. We're phoning in the co-hosts of Unsupervised with Syd and TP, my most popular friends, Syd and TP. Hey, y'all.
How we
Hey,
doing, Ari?
Ryan.
I have the pleasure of listening to your podcast, and you have this headline of the week, hetero headline of the week. We have our own headlines because I think Sydney has been busy. Syd, do you have some explaining to do about these objects flying on the court?
Look, I'm taking a day off. I'm just resting. I think I've done enough. So, no
I mean,
explanations today.
Look,
Keep
two
your eyes
two
peeled.
times in a row is kind of crazy. You just want to keep going with that.
3.
Three.
There was a third. There was a sneaky third in there.
A sneaky third. Syd, you're just so busy. At what point is it not funny anymore? Or is it always hilarious?
Well, I think, player safety is becoming an issue. They're not just being tossed on the sideline. It's like during action, so somebody could get hit. But even still, I don't know. Depending on where they get hit, it can still be a little funny to me. I find the humor in most things, but yeah, some people are starting to find it more annoying than funny.
TP, how do you reel this in? How do you prevent these flying objects?
I don't know. I don't know what we need to start doing at WNBA games to increase security, but hashtag Wienergate is on the loose, and we are, we're people of the people, so we're trying to get down to the bottom of it.
Sydney says that she's
Yeah.
taking the day off, but for some reason I just have no idea if that's going to be true or not. I mean, you're not in your green. You've taken that green off, so I mean that's beautiful. But there's been a dialogue about the dangers of throwing the objects on the court, and you mentioned it. Where do you all stand on this?
I don't know. I'm just trying to picture somebody or people trying to make like a statement. Like, I'm not sure exactly what it is, if it's supposed to be disrespectful, because if it is, like, it's not landing.
Truly,
It's just
It is.
flopping.
It's landing, but
it's landing and
not
bouncing and
landing.
flopping.
It's
Exactly.
flopping.
But something that's not a flop is your podcast. The first 2 episodes have been amazing. Who are the Mount Rushmore of podcast guests that you want on the show?
Oh man, dang, that's a great question.
That really is a
I
great
don't know,
question.
We're gonna have a lot of our like friends on. We're gonna have our parents and family on, but we're gonna have people we play with, friends that we have that are like celebrities in other industries. Like, I think it's gonna be a good mix. We definitely want to tap into a lot of comedians and actors coming on, but it'll be fun to figure that out as time goes on.
So you all have been hysterically hilarious, and you probably come from a long lineage of hysterical people. At a doobie and mother, who's funnier?
I have no idea. I mean, you saw Doobie when she was in her prime.
In her prime.
In 2019 at the championship game, you caught her saying new school, old school with her digital camera, which is now back in style.
She was ahead of the trend.
She was ahead of the
Yeah.
trend. She was ready for it. But
Trendsetter.
we're blessed to have parents that have such really fun, lighthearted personalities. And, my whole family, extended family is the exact same way. So it's awesome that, we get to be ourselves and really just showcase who we are on this podcast.
When did you all know that you were freaking hilarious and a hilarious pair?
A hilarious pair, I think, early on when we met in 2022 with the Aces.
Yeah.
And then
It was going to
just
be a
funny
long
as hell.
season for the locker room.
Yeah.
It did. But look, Syd, I think that you have a job to do, so I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna hang on to your partner, so maybe me and TP
This was
can
fun.
All right, we can start a
Thursday.
podcast as well.
I think this will happen. I think it's gonna happen again. Like, give it a week. We'll talk to you in a week.
I hope so. Syd, you're stuck with me forever, so it's really not an option for any type of interaction later on. But I guess you have a job to do, so me and
I
TP
do.
will take over.
That's cool. Mean green out.
So
Yes.
I know that you and Syd have such comic relief, and it resonates with people. But what I love about you two is the heart that you all have. There's a seriousness and a depth to the friendship and the chemistry that y'all have been able to maintain both on and off the court. Where does that derive from, and what have you learned about Sydney?
I think, like, I talked to my cousin the other day. Her name's Emily, for the sake of the story. Emily was telling me that she thinks that we don't take ourselves too seriously, but we like to take our job seriously. And I think that kind of describes us perfectly. We're the type of people that, we're here to spread joy. We're here to make others laugh. I think that one of our callings to this earth is to just be, people of the people. And, what this world needs right now and always is a good laugh. And so we just try to, you know, do our public service by just spreading laughter and trying to keep things light in this world where there's just so much going on. We just want to be a little escape for people to be able to take their head off of whatever's going on and laugh a little bit.
What was the best reaction of anybody that you've ever, told a joke to or been funny in front of? What's the best reaction you've ever gotten?
Oh my goodness. You know, Probably getting people to laugh in situations that like you shouldn't be laughing in is the best because
Inappropriate
you
times.
inappropriate times are the best because you try to hold in and then it keeps replaying in your head, so you want to keep laughing at it when the first time you laughed was inappropriate. So holding on to that is really good. But I really like to make people laugh when you're supposed to be stoic and serious.
But one thing that's not stoic and serious is All-Star Weekend, and y'all took over. It was y'all and Studbuds that just really, really carried All-Star, made it one of the best All-Stars we've ever been a part of. And shout out to you for being an All-Star, TP. What was the funnest time?
Wow.
I know you literally, you carry. Come on. You have the keys to everything. What was your favorite moment from All-Star?
Honestly, the entire weekend was so great. I'm going to be transparent here and say that my expectations of Indiana's All-Star were pretty low. And the second I stepped off my flight and into the terminal, there was signage everywhere. You immediately immerse yourself into this All-Star experience. And I've been to NBA All-Star before and Pro Bowl experiences. And right when you get into whatever city, you just get engulfed in like all things that are that sports culture. And Indiana really came through this year with everything that was WNBA. Even walking down the streets day to day, you saw just NBA gear pouring out from everywhere. And it was an amazing time. The 3-on-3 tournament that happened outside on the really large orange like stage tower.
Yep.
It was cool. It was really cool.
It's great.
But it was awesome. It was a really awesome weekend. And I think that it just showed like a little bit of what we're all about. And what the WNBA fans of years past have known the WNBA to be. And now that, we're getting more eyes on us, it's really nice to see everybody enjoying and appreciating the W the way that we always have.
I preface this with you being, hey, now, you're an All-Star. So as you go into these cities and you are one of the most popular players ever, would you rather yourself on the side of a building, on a court, or on a bus?
Oh my goodness. I might have to go with on a court. I did see Angels building side of a building, a whole side. I saw Caitlin on the side of a different building. I saw like Lisa and Candace and Asia across like a skywalk. Like there was really great options out there, but I think I would love to have my name on a court.
This is when I'm like, Sydney needs to be here to be
everlasting.
like, really, you want them to be on your face, just dribbling.
Just
on your
running
face?
across my face the entire time. Yeah, exactly. That's what we need.
Okay. We're going to play a game, TP. It's
All right,
called
let's play a game.
Clock It or Drop It. Okay?
Okay,
You see the clock.
let's clock it. Okay.
Okay. Labubos.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I gotta drop it. I just don't get the hype. I was like a huge Beanie Baby fan back in the day, but I don't know if I can get behind the Labubus.
They're terrifying. I was
Yeah, they really
deathly
are.
afraid of Furbies, and they
Yeah.
remind me of nothing but a Furby.
Who are they made for? Kids or adults? Like, it's very confusing.
The lines are blurred, and for that, we are even more scared because they're taking over. Okay, throwing objects on the court. Clock
I'm gonna
it
have to
or
drop it. I'm gonna have to drop that. Like, it was funny. There is humor in it, but in terms of player safety, let's keep the objects in the stands.
Control yourselves, people. It was funny
Control
the
it.
first time.
Control it.
Now we're a little concerned. We're a little concerned. Just save your money. Keep it on you. Okay.
You heard it from Ari. You heard it from Ari,
Save your
and
money,
I'm
keep it
gonna
on
stand on that one.
Player podcasts.
Oh, we're gonna clock it. We love a player podcast. There's nothing better than people being able to just really hone in on what their brand is, really like get to establish who they are as a person. So many times we hear shut up and dribble or just do your job. And I think a part of our job is being able to show who we are. So I really love to see everybody getting these podcasts and being able to show their voice and what they're all about.
Before we go to the next one, so who you are is in a robe and sunglasses, huh? Let's talk about the styling on that cover shoot.
You know, it is a look to be able to pull off a hotel robe and sunglasses at the pool. That picture was taken at the pool. So it was definitely a look. I wouldn't say that it's an everyday look, but sometimes you just got to tap into it.
We're bought into it. Speaking of, clock it or drop it, this run club propaganda.
I don't even know what this is.
You know,
I'm
all the
so out
girlies,
the loop.
including me, I've been running half marathons, losing my toenails. So are you
Oh,
bought into
God.
these run clubs, or are you just like, nah?
For the history of me being an athlete, running was always like the thing that I gave the most pushback on. So I'm gonna have to say a running club seems absolutely miserable. So I'm gonna have to drop that one.
They're not that bad. What about expansion
said
teams?
missing
Clock it or drop it. Wait,
Like real
what?
life damage. You're missing toenails. There's
I am
like
missing
real life.
3 toenails. This is a very real thing, TP.
See, and you want to join the club and you want to stay in the club? Are you in the club? Are you in
To
the
be
club?
fair, yes, I am. To be fair, you can lose toenails playing basketball, but there's so much more
Fair.
basketball to be played. So clock it or drop it, expansion teams.
I think clock it. I think we need more expansion teams. I hope that the rollout isn't happening too quickly. I think that, you know, there is a pace that you need to expand at. And I do think that there is a necessary place for expansion teams. And it's really exciting that, you know, since I first came into the league, there was talks about expansion team back in 2014. And, you know, now we're finally getting one this season with the Valkyrie and we see what they're doing. So we obviously see that it's a proven concept that can work. So having all these rollout teams exciting. Clock the expansion teams for sure.
Absolutely, and that gives more opportunity. TP, are we going to see you in the W in the future? Is that what the goal is?
I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I love the W with all my heart. I think it's the greatest league in the world. And, you know, I met some of the most amazing women in the world through playing in that league and had some of the best moments and memories of my life. So I'd love to give the W another run.
Here's to more memories. Thank you so much, TP, for joining us today for our Phone a Friend on a Saturday. Have my popular friends. Thank you so much for watching the wrap-up presented by AT&T. Have my co-host here. Shout out to you, Buki.